I sense a presence, Margo thought as she crouched down low. She remained silent and focused on the sounds hanging on the misty morning air. The stillness was broken by the soft sound of pine needles crushing beneath the sole of an unfamiliar foot. Margo turned her head slowly towards the sound, scanning the forest floor with her intense gray eyes. She saw nothing. Man or beast? She thought as she silently reached for the hefty axe hanging at her hip. Despite the size, the weapon was light in her hand, her strength a product of dedicated training. She brought the honed edge of the curved cleaver near her ram-horned helm, brushing lightly against the wispy unmanageables of her ruby-red hair. Again, the crunch and pop of pine and twig broke the still silence of morning, ever so briefly. The ephemeral nature of the sound was frustrating, but Margo was a patient hunter. She zeroed in on the direction of the sound and silently crept along the floor of the forest, one well-worn leather boot after another. The pines of the sable forest were dense, and the terrain uneven. She could tell by the intensity of the sounds that the suspicious visitor was beyond a nearby rise. As she approached, she was mindful of the large round shield strapped to her back, and did well to dampen the clicks and clacks it produced against the small plates sewn into her burgundy gambeson. She was not dressed for stalking prey, but for challenging a monster. Another sound, this time not from her front, but her side. Margo was surprised. Was this a second pursuer? She turned her head quickly to survey the second entity. The silhouette of a four-legged beast peeked through the misty morning in the brush ahead. A deer, she recognized instantly. She immediately turned her attention back toward the first figure beyond the rise. A hunter, perhaps? Margo pondered as she finished her ascent of the mound. Looking down upon the other side of the rise, she immediately discovered the source of her initial sensation. A large, stalking mountain lion lay in wait for the deer, crouching low in the bush. Margo's sudden appearance over the rise startled the cat, whom immediately rose up and roared at her. The sound of the fleeing deer was of little consequence, as the large cat met her eyes with its own. This was a contest of wills, and Margo was not one to back down. She stood tall, raised her axe above her head, and gave out a low battle cry that betrayed her youthful appearance. The lion roared its catty roar in response. It appeared neither was willing to back down. Never taking her eyes off of the predator, she slowly removed the round shield from her back and brought it to bear. Once more she attempted to intimidate the beast, loudly rapping the steel edge of her axe about the flat surface of the shield. This only provoked it. The cat darted toward her with a speed and ferocity that would have overwhelmed a lesser warrior. As the cat pounced, Margo met force with force. The lion smashed into her shield with a ravenous clash of tooth and claw. Margo used her weight to throw the cat from the shield, yet a reprieve from the beast was immediate. It lunged low at her legs, and she met the creature once again with her shield. This time, preparing a counter of her own, she brought the axe down upon the lion at the moment of impact with the shield, though through the writhing of the cat, the blade missed its mark. She took a large stride back to regain her composure. The cat leapt about its hind legs and took great height. It landed on her shield once again, though much higher than she had anticipated. Her legs failed her under the weight of the hefty creature, though she swung true with her axe as she fell upon the pine needles below her. The beast bellowed as the axe took apart its right ear, though continued the onslaught upon the now disadvantaged Margo. It swiped with large paws about the sides of the shield, catching mostly armored pieces, but pinging a few soft places as well. She pushed the beast from her again, yet was no more than to her knees when it pounced once more. Able to stave off the cat this time, she pushed hard against it with her shield. The lion swiped once more with her razored paws, this time catching her on the chin. She continued to push back as she prepared to swing her axe once more. Her strikes were hurried and granted her only glancing blows upon the cat's torso. A stain of blood was pooling upon the shield from the lion's wounds. However, the furiosity of the beast never ceased. In close quarters, she might be overwhelmed, so a new strategy was devised. She pushed against the cat with all of her strength, removing the mass from her. She then took an immediate leap back as the beast recovered. The lion once again attempted to close the distance, then pounced wildly at Margo. She was prepared this time, and threw the axe upon the cat with a power and finesse rarely seen. The blade sawed through the air with a deadly precision and cleaved the poor beast about its head. Margo rose as the beast fell, silent, upon the forest floor. She filled herself with the cool air of spring, soothing the great pounding within as she approached the corpse. You were fierce. I acknowledge your strength. Margo lamented the death of the beast. She respected the primal fury of it, and felt a pang of shame that she would be unable to make use of the creature's flesh. Encumbered as she was on her journey, unable to carry no more. To spill a life without cause was a shameful act in the village of Myrrh. She contemplated the fragility of it all as she silently prepared a shallow grave for the noble lion. The moment where life becomes unlife was sharp as the edge of her axe, and fleeting as a breath of wind. She wished for the night sky as she lay the beast within the carved-out hollow in the forest floor. She wished to watch the soul of this fallen warrior streaking the heavens to become a star. Margo covered the beast's body in the pine and bark of the sable forest, then remembered the wound on her chin. She wiped the blood from it and paid her last respects. Our battle has left your mark upon me, which I will carry for always. Please take solace and rest.